So like in the midst of that, like were you like talking to your agent as well? Like what's going
Yeah,
on? Like
I tryna contact the agent, and he told me, oh, but you are already in the United States. Just figure things out.
yeah,
For you to get to United States, just be your first opportunity to play and educate yourself without speaking any English
mhm,
is a good opportunity,
yeah.
and to start playing
I
too,
think
and
if
to
you're making it to the nationals at junior level, any of those teams can compete with maybe the bottom half D1 teams. And
absolutely,
how
yeah.
how is it? It's so hard to have resource and access to the information. So I just said, you know what, screw it, man. I'm just gonna at least try and create a conversation to at least have about it to figure it out. So
To get to know you have to educate yourself playing.
all right, what's up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of More Than Just a Baller podcast, where we talk about transitioning overseas and the life beyond the game. So, new episode. I do have the pleasure of having a new guest here. It's been a conversation in the works for a while. We didn't actually play together, but we do have a history together. So it's been a long conversation just to talk about his experience and bring him on. So without further ado, my friend Juan Ortiz.
So, my man,
Appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, of course, you
Thanks.
could just say a few words and just introduce yourself a little bit as well, give context.
My name is Juan Ortiz. I'm from Cali, Colombia. I've been here in the United States for 5 years already, five and a half. Uh, Playing against you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a good time. It's been challenging time as well. But we're here.
for
We're here,
sure.
bro.
So it's actually funny because we've been like just rambling off camera and stuff like that because it is a long conversation that we've never really had a sit down
No,
actual conversation,
it's
right?
yeah.
So
This is the first time.
yeah, so we went to the same school. I graduated and you came into the school, had great success with the team and stuff like that. And then I was at a 4 year school. Obviously, we spoke briefly then. I wanted you to come to the team because I knew what a great player you were and stuff like that. And then you did what was right for you. You did what was best for you. We ended up actually playing against each other in the same conference.
Yeah,
So we have like a lot of history, kind of like missing each other, like briefly and stuff like that.
yeah.
Which has been a bit of fun. But like I know the kind of the player you was and what you brought to the table on the field. But this is a deep dive. We're gonna just talk a bit about like behind off the field, your experience and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's funny how we were this close to play
yeah,
together, but
bro.
we never did.
Yeah,
When it came to Harcum, you left, and in the conversations with Holy Family and all that, I ended up in Chestnut.
yeah,
Ended up playing, again. So
yeah, yeah.
it's funny, but thanks for having me. I want to congratulate you, bro, for this amazing project, and
Appreciate it, brother.
we're here, bro.
No, we're
Thanks,
here.
thanks,
No,
thanks.
I think it should be a good conversation. And I said, you're one of the people I had on the list. I really wanted to get on because I know you've lived it. You've graduated now and stuff like you're doing a few other things in out of the field, out of the game now.
Yeah.
So I want to dive in. But I think it's only right. I want to kind of just go back to the origin story of what was your process coming out here. I know we spoke about it briefly off camera, but it was a bit different to mine. Um,
Well, the process was kind of hard at the beginning.
mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard because the agency that I worked with, they told me something that it wasn't.
Oh,
Like,
wasn't the truth.
they just sold me dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they told me stuff like, oh, you are going to this school, they're gonna give you this scholarship,
Mhm.
but they didn't because it was a JUCO D3. So the
Yeah.
JUCO D3, they
They
don't
don't give out
offer.
the same kind of money
Yeah,
as other schools.
they don't even give scholarships.
Wow.
So it was kind of hard to me because it was a new world to me.
Yeah, 100%.
It was
So
like,
you got to the school and then they were like charging you and you found out all this information once you'd arrived in
well, when it get here, I started like uh start contacting the coach. So everything was fine at the beginning. I came to New York because I have a couple family in New York. So
mm-hmm.
I spent like 20 days in New York, going to the beach, start
to
exploring the United
relaxing. Yeah,
States.
of course.
It was amazing. So when I started contacting the coach too, because I want to know
Pre-season.
what to do, where I'm gonna live,
Yeah.
all that stuff. he told me, "Oh, you will live on this house with 6 players."
Right.
I said, "Okay, it's fine. Okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a problem to
Is what
me."
it is. Yeah.
So then I started asking him, "How much is the scholarship and how much I'm gonna get?"
Hmm.
And he told me, "No, this is a D3 school. We don't offer
Yeah.
scholarships." And I said, "What you mean?"
That's rough. Yeah.
And everything in the frame time of 1 week before preseason start.
So like in the middle of that, like were you like talking to your agent as well? Like what's going
Yeah,
on? Like,
I trying to contact the agent, and he told me, "Oh, but you are already in the United States. Just figure things out."
yeah.
And I said, "Oh my god."
At the beginning, that's terrible because like I had my agency. I was working with a particular person, individual, and they give you, from my experience, they give you a list of different options. I had a couple in like West Virginia and all over the place. To be honest, I had maybe like 3 or 4, right? That was like kind of serious, give me offers,
Hmm.
and then my from my experience, like, I selected the one. It turned out to be Harkin. That was giving me the best package and stuff like that. When I got into the country, I was under the impression that once I transferred, then I'll be able to talk to my agent again.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done my 2 years at junior college. I'm looking to transfer to a 4 year. Can we sort something out? Do the process. That was the conversation we had originally.
Okay.
But when I transferred, it was a similar thing to you. They said, "Well, you're in the country now. You have to figure it out."
Yeah.
I've got other people I'm working with now, and you kind of like, you know, I had to figure out in real time for myself. So
Yeah.
that is something I definitely want to touch on as well, because I know you got your new setup now, your agency where you're working directly with the kids. I think it's very difficult because you don't have the information, so you just kind of go on what they're telling you.
Exactly.
You know what I
You
mean?
go with with the things going on,
Yeah.
and
So
you have to decide. I had to decide in just 1 week, because when you went to United States and you don't register in 30 days or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, you have to go back home.
yeah.
So, but I didn't want to go back home. I want to
You're
figure
enjoying
something out.
yourself, yeah, finding your feet and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That is rough, man. And was that a consideration at the time that you had? Was like, "Well, I can't do this. I don't have the money to kind of pay now. I'm here and stuff. They're asking me to pay all this money.
Yeah.
Was there ever a consideration to like go home, or how did you end up figuring it out?
I spoke with my dad, and he told me the same thing that the agency told me. Which you are already in the United States, so
Yeah,
figure things out, but in a good way. Like,
encouragement, like
yeah,
positive
yeah, it was like
motivation.
more encouragement. Like, I say, okay, so let let's do it. I'm here. I was so upset. I
That's
was disappointed. I was
such
kind
a
of,
harsh
because
introduction.
I came to United States looking for a new opportunity in my life.
Yeah,
If I had this opportunity in my country, I wouldn't leave my country
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
So I think it's the same for you. If you would have the same
Right.
opportunity in your country, so you have to go overseas to look for your
Yeah,
dream.
yeah,
So yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the history.
yeah. Well, you kind of even just stepped into the kind of question I wanted to touch on as well. Is it like common? Like, did you know a lot of people that was also coming out here? How did you even kind of find the opportunity to like come over
Okay,
overseas?
this agency contact me through Instagram,
Mm.
because back in Colombia, I played for one of the most popular academies in
Yeah,
Colombia.
yeah.
It was one of the biggest one.
Mm.
So I had like this pro projection on my academy. They had like a professional team as well in first division. But something, things happen.
Yeah.
Everything went down, and yeah. So I couldn't make it pro in Colombia.
Mm.
So when this guy text me, I say, okay, this is a good chance. I mean,
Yeah,
I have family in the United States. I can go and try.
yeah,
And they offer me not just play but education as well.
yeah.
So
100%. Yeah,
I took it, and I mean, it's the first decision I've been taking in my life, bro.
yeah.
Not gonna lie.
It's a big step. We've talked about in previous conversation. You leave your family, you step away from home, and it is a big opportunity. But
Yeah.
it's also new. There's so much to learn, and it is a process and stuff like that. But similar to yourself, obviously England is really notorious for football. There's so many levels and stuff, but it's very cutthroat. Football in general,
Yeah.
no matter where you are in the world, the standard is you get to a point where the standard is high, and I came and I was like, all right, it could be a new beginning. Like you said, funded education. There's a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities in America. They give big money to kind of give you the opportunity. Was it something you always envision yourself doing, or is it just because it didn't work out back home, you was like, all right, let me start something new and do that?
Yeah, that was the mindset. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have nothing in my country. I mean, I try everything
yeah,
to make it.
yeah,
I didn't make it,
yeah.
so let's try something new. I have
100%.
my parents' support. I had my family
Yeah,
support, so
love it,
why not?
love it.
So I took it. So it was kind of hard, as you say, like leaving my family behind.
Of course,
My little brother, he was like 6 years old,
devastated. Yeah,
6. Yeah, my mom, my dad, everything, everything. I had everything on my country. So that was kind of sacrifice that I did just
yeah.
to make it. Yeah. So.
Well, in terms of like football, right? In terms of like the standard,
Mhm.
right? What do you think? Well, how would you compare the standard like back home to like the standard over here? Because I come over here, soccer is still a very progressive and growing sport in America. How do you kind of compare, talent and like actual ability, school aside, just for football wise?
Football wise, like pro in school, college,
Yeah, I
so
mean, we could talk
football.
about like, under 18s and up, right? Because
Okay.
that's probably the equivalent. At 18, you want to probably start looking to get to the first team back home, certain clubs and stuff like that.
I
But
think the United States is a little easier
to
to
go
make
to go
it to
pro,
go
yeah,
pro.
okay,
Yeah. I don't know if it's probably because the opportunities that they offer to players. I
yeah,
mean, you can go to college and do well in college and go to pro,
get
or you
drafted,
go, yeah, get
yeah,
drafted, or you can go, to the Union Academy and make it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you don't make it in the Union, you can make it in a good D1 school,
for sure,
so you can educate yourself
for
just
sure.
because of football.
Do you think it's easier, but do you think it's better, like the talent in terms of like?
No.
No, I was,
No.
I was that's what I was really trying to ask you because
No, it's not the same. It's
yeah,
not the
it's
same. I mean, I'm talking about like American football.
no, the
American
system is
The
easier.
system is easier.
Yeah,
I mean, the system helps you to make it.
yeah, yeah.
But in back home, you have to
Be
have the talent.
be that, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
you have to be
100%.
there.
I think coming over to America, it was a bit of a shift in the game, the standard as well, because there's so much talent back home and stuff like that. Is so hard
Yeah.
to yeah, they're recruiting people from like 8 years old now and stuff, and making them into these big stars. But when I came over here, one thing I noticed, like, I don't think they're as technical here. They're like very athletic.
You think it's technical?
I don't think they're as technical.
Oh, you
I
don't
think
think?
they're very like athletic, very physical and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Whereas, well, England's physical as well. It's like
but it's a mix of both.
but yeah, I think like in terms of structure, like style of play and stuff like that, there's not much. I don't want to say there's not much, but there's not that many tactics in the game and stuff like. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
just sometimes it's back and forth like long ball. Sometimes it'd be like basketball.
Even college football.
Right?
Uh, We're gonna call it football or soccer?
No, we call it football. This is
Football. Okay,
this is the
okay.
safe
I just
space,
wanted
man.
to make sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, in terms of football, yeah. I mean, they, as you say, back and forth,
yeah.
go around like 5 miles.
And I know
Uh,
you're a very technical player, so you're probably getting kicked a lot. You probably
yeah, yeah. Your question was when it came here. My first impression was, oh, these people is physic,
physical.
physical, but
Mm,
but not that technical. So I have that advantage
yeah,
from
you
the beginning.
probably have like time on the ball and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So they went crazy when you
yeah.
when you made
Of
something, they
course,
go like woo woo. You
of
say,
course,
oh my god, yeah,
of course. So that was yeah. I didn't actually know the full story of that, but that is kind of a rough introduction.
yeah. I had to even make the tryout for drawing. I didn't make it without the tryout.
So they brought you all the way over here, and you still haven't even made the team.
hmm I had to
Jeez,
I had
bro.
to try out for Rowan, and David told me the first day, the scholarship is yours.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go there, right? Because that was a separate school that your introduction was at a separate school.
hmm
I was obviously at Harkham at the time and stuff like that. The first school I came out to, and then you transferred over to Harkham.
Yeah,
So
after the COVID.
okay, so did you still do a year at Rowan, your original school, and then transferred on your second year? in the country?
Oh, I did my first year in Rowan, then I transferred to Harcum. So
Okay.
I don't know if that was the question.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my answer, right?
yeah. Because they shut it down all the athletic
Yeah,
programs
yeah, yeah.
because of COVID. So then I went to Harcum after the 20. I know I'm the 2020 transfer.
Hmm.
Then in the 2021 I play my sophomore year for
So
Harcum.
it's a bit better. You getting some money now. I don't know. You went to national. You had a really good year and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. It was it
How's
was
that?
it was crazy because we didn't play for what, for 1 year, one
Yeah,
year and a half,
yeah. I didn't play
right?
the same
Yeah.
same time. I was home for a year.
So that was the time frame when we didn't play like at all.
Yeah,
We didn't go out for have some
couldn't do anything, bro. Everyone got stuck in
nothing.
the crib.
Oh my God, that was
It was a terrible time, bro. I put on so much weight, bro. It was rough for everyone. Yeah, it was just terrible.
that was a nightmare, bro.
It was
That was
bad.
a really nightmare because you couldn't do anything,
Yeah.
anything. Not even I say I would sometimes I sat on my bed and say I came to play and I can't I
Yeah.
can't even play
Yeah.
soccer. I just studying.
But was you still in the country? So you were still in the country the whole time during COVID?
Yeah, I couldn't go back home because the airports all were closed.
Right. So funny story actually. I said it on the other episode. They rushed me home. I went home on the Saturday. They closed the border on the Sunday.
So you was
So I just got home just in time. I remember
oh my
my
God.
my ticket was like dirt cheap. It was like $250. So I was like, all right, let me go. But if I didn't make it home, I would have really just been stuck, like
Yeah.
stranded. Because I don't have any family. No, like I have a couple of friends I met, but
Yeah, that was a hard time. That was a
yeah,
hard time because you know, you don't play, you don't go out. So what did
yeah,
you
it's
do?
rough, terrible.
What to do? Nothing. Let's
Yeah,
just be at home watching movies.
yeah,
You know, oversleep sometime because
bro. My whole like day was just like blended into one. Like yeah,
yeah, I mean it
useless
was
time.
crazy. So when we started the season in the spring of 2021, it was kind of like
Yeah, relief,
it
100%.
was a relief, bro,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you went, um, you did that. So after COVID, you was at Harkham, had
Hmm.
a really good year. I know you went to nationals. It's funny.
We couldn't believe we could make it
Yeah,
because we didn't know each other that well,
yeah. It's
because the
still
only
like,
the only two I knew was Oscar and Daniel.
hmm
That's it. But the difference between the Harcum team and the Rowan team, that was the international player. When you play with international
yeah.
players, it's a different story.
I think that is they're transitioning into the collegiate game. They're just recruiting overseas now.
Yeah,
Because that's what I don't want to say that's what the talent is, but that's where you're getting the really good guys. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, you know, for the likes of yourself, what I mean, you're from academy, at a young age, and it's a different style of play where they teach you the fundamentals of soccer.
yeah,
For you, it's like you get the opportunity to come up. You're getting money paid to get an education. You're getting paid to come overseas and stuff like that. It's kind of a no-brainer because the standard isn't really the same here. I don't really think they develop the kids the same way. You know what I mean?
yeah. Because they used to play like too many
They play
sports,
so many sports.
too many sports.
Yeah,
So when they get like the age of 17, 18, so
yeah,
they decide for one. I
yeah,
mean, not all of them, but that's the culture in the United States.
100%.
They play.
Just
I mean,
athletes. That's what it's
yeah,
like.
the athletes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that
athletes,
that's the word.
and
Yeah,
they feel like if I'm multifaceted and stuff, it's to their advantage. Even at college, I feel like people they play like two or so sports, and it's
yeah.
crazy because like back home, it's like you got to make a decision from early. Like if you're even gonna have a chance,
Just one.
yeah, you got to play like football. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
I
Um,
mean, some countries have like their second national sport.
yeah.
I mean, let's say like in Colombia could be like I don't know, basketball,
Okay.
just for name one of them. But in England, I don't know what's the second national sport.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I play like a couple sports, like in PE. In secondary school, you maybe like rugby.
rugby is
Rugby
for
is quite big. What else do we play? Basketball's not really big. Track and field, cross
track and
country, and
field.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, it was always football though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because in
Because if
England,
you're good,
everybody breathe football.
yeah, 100%. I
That's
said that the other day. Everyone sleeps, breathes, and eats football back home. And if you're good as well, like the clubs aren't gonna let you go and play rugby because if you get injured, you know what I mean. You're
yeah.
supposed to be an asset to the team. They can't have you just doing whatever you want, you know. So
And they play a lot of money.
yeah,
The money in England
it's
is
different. Yeah, you
crazy.
could like be playing like step 5, you know, like semi-pro and still be getting paid, you know, a little bit of money.
What's the division in England that you get paid like the less, but you still get
So
like good money?
you could probably pay like step 5, and you probably get, you know, if you're a young kid coming through the works, maybe get like a £50 a game.
£50 a game.
£50 a game, and then you know, and then the bigger guys on the step 5 maybe get like a couple hundred a game, like the
Okay,
senior players, the captains, and stuff like that. And then
it's
the
good
further
money.
you go up, yeah, it's like, you know, there's opportunity to make money back home for
Yeah,
sure,
it's a good money, bro.
for sure. So I want to tap into like, you know, we talked about it briefly off camera, because the process of going to junior college, because for those that are considering the opportunity, for those that are like thinking about coming out here, you don't really know the difference. So I do want to kind of like tap into that because I know you have experience. We both went to junior college. How
Uh,
would you explain that, or like, you know, how would you?
I would say junior college is the easy way
Mm-hmm.
to to get to United States because junior college offer you ESL classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for those that don't speak like English at all,
You said you speak a word of English when you came to the country.
nothing, just yellow, good morning, good night. That's
That's
all.
crazy to me.
So, but junior college in terms of education is good. I
Yeah.
mean, you can start like getting involved on the education
Mm-hmm.
system. You learn the language, um, the the process is kind of easier.
Yeah.
Then when you go to the 4 year school is different. But I mean, for you to get to United States and just be your first opportunity to play and educate yourself without speaking any English
Mm-hmm.
is a good opportunity,
Yeah.
and to start playing too, and to put your name on the map on the conference, and
Yeah.
start looking for better opportunities.
Yeah. I think it is a really good introduction to the country, especially when you
Yeah,
don't know anything, kind of just to get your foot in the door,
exactly.
kind of understand the system, understand the leagues and conferences and stuff like that. Even just from a playing standpoint, I think, you know, well, for those that don't know, right, junior college essentially is the first 2 years of your collegiate experience, right? So you
Yeah.
have freshman, sophomore, junior, and then senior years,
Uh
right?
huh.
Uh, Junior college is going to be your first 2 years of those, so freshman and sophomore. So coming in as a freshman, you do have the option to go to a 4 year school immediately and do your 4 years at one institution. But I think junior college, you with the intention you do your 2 years, and
Yeah.
then obviously you transfer to a bigger school or whatever. I think it's a good opportunity to get a look in, get recruited to a bigger school.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good platform for those that are looking, you know, to play and get the education. I mean, it's a good opportunity. I
Yeah,
mean, it
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 worked.
helped me out.
It worked out for both.
It helped me out.
I'm not mad at junior college as well. I think it has a bit of a stigma as well. Like, you know, some
Yeah,
people say,
yeah, yeah.
junior
Because
college, and then it's like junior college is here, and then but it's not true. We in our own experience, we've seen like there's junior colleges that compete. You know,
yeah,
that have really talented kids, talented players.
I mean, I will say it's not the players, it's the person and the player.
Yeah,
If you make it out, if you take the opportunity and you take advantage of it,
yeah,
you're gonna make it.
100%.
Look at Ryan.
Right, right. Yeah. So we both played with Ryan.
Yeah,
I didn't manage to play you. We both played with Ryan. Ryan came and had loads of success. Went to one of the big Big Ten schools
yeah,
in D1.
yeah. He went to Ohio, I think.
No, he went to
I don't.
Akron. He was in
Akron.
Ohio. He went to Akron, though, right?
It's Akron.
Yeah. So
That's
that's a massive school.
yeah,
And then I know I spoke to him as well, and that was an interesting experience for him as well. And then he went to LHU as well. LHU,
yeah, yeah.
and he had success there as well. So
And everything is starting junior college. So
yeah,
junior college is it's an opportunity.
to
The
get yourself in the map.
opportunities are no big, small. No,
Yeah.
opportunities are opportunities. You gotta take it.
I think what I really liked about junior college is we had a pool of guys that were just like all hungry.
Yeah,
There's a lot of international guys, you know, coming over even at junior college. You know, junior college do give out pretty good money. You know, D1 obviously, D3 don't, but they give out a lot of money, and a lot of kids were hungry because we knew that we have to have good 2 years to get a
yeah,
better opportunity, and we have to transfer. You know, so if you get a good group of guys that are all on the same page, I think you know,
Yeah,
naturally.
it's amazing. Even when you come overseas, you as I was telling you, playing with internationals, everyone comes with hunger, with
Yeah,
hungry, with I want to make it, I want to make it. So
yeah,
when you mix all that, ambition and all that dreams and all that,
mm,
you I mean, it's the percentage of make it. It's big. It's bigger than if you play with some players that they don't see the same that you see
yeah,
on all that stuff. So that's why, in my experience, I prefer to play with international players.
yeah, for sure,
I
for
don't know
sure.
about you, but that's
Were there a lot of international that you're like Chestnut at your second school, like 4 year school?
with how many internationals
Yeah,
who play.
was there a lot?
Um, yeah, yeah, I would say yeah, yeah, half of the team
Yeah.
on the second year, but the first year we weren't a lot, like
You had some like trouble.
four.
You had like a lot of complications going on at Chestnut at the time. I know, like coaching, moving around and stuff. It's kind of
Yeah, but that's the business.
it's part of the
That's
game.
that's
Yeah,
part of the game. So you have to deal with it, and it was yeah, kind of overwhelmed as well
yeah.
because a lot of players on many attitudes that wasn't the
It was
right there.
yeah. It was different for me as well. With moving to
Yeah,
the 4 year.
I don't know about you
A
on
lot of
the
people
other
are just like
side.
happy to be there, just wear the jersey. They don't have the
Yeah,
hunger. They don't have the attitude. They just want the college experience. So
that's the that's
it
the,
was
that's the point. The
yeah.
college experience.
It was
They
really
they live it different that we live. The
yeah
college experience
yeah.
for us is different.
Yeah, for us, it's a break. It's an opportunity. Like we got to figure it out. We got to make something happen. So
Yeah,
it's just a different mentality. I don't know if you can.
but I don't know why we think different than them if we are the same. Like, I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to understand it.
I didn't understand it, and it really bothered me. It really bothered me when I first I almost got in like a little fisty. It's terrible. On my first week at my second school, I almost got in like a altercation. It was like face to face, and we almost got into something because I'm like screaming like, "Yo, you gotta do da da da," like get in position and like being passionate about
And you
it.
were the captain, right?
Not at
Oh,
that
that was
school.
the
No,
second
no,
year.
no. Joel was the captain.
Okay,
If
okay.
I had stayed, I could have been a leader on that team, but it just didn't work out for me
Yeah, I mean,
to stay.
yeah.
Um, but I came and it was like a real rude awakening. You come from the hunger of the international guys, and then I'm being passionate. Get in position. You got to do da. And one boy he turned around and he said, "You yell my name one more time. Da, 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 we're gonna get into it." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking?" I'm like, "What is going on?" It was just crazy, um, and I felt a bit of a way because it wasn't the best representation of myself.
Yeah,
For,
of
I was like
course.
literally
Yeah,
the first week, but I always had to like drop the penny of like it's just a different kind of mentality. You have to adapt to your environment, and
yeah.
you have to kind of just make it work. But
How long it takes to realize that?
I,
A
I
while,
I
right?
I think that happening so quickly, I had to go home and I had to really reflect. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. You know what I mean? Because after a while, you do realize the pattern of it's just a different kind of environment. So
For me, it took me a while.
yeah, but I got to the point where I was like, you can't keep getting upset. You can't get like,
I mean, I
it's
didn't get.
passionate, but
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean, it didn't affect my game,
yeah,
but sometimes, you wake up at 5 a.m. before classes, so
yeah,
you go to practice, and you get there with the energy, and
yeah.
they just
That
whatever.
just going through the motions.
It's like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Did that affect your game though? Like in terms of showing up? Oh, if no one else is gonna.
Sometimes, to
Sometimes
be
it's
honest,
rough,
yeah,
man. Like
it's rough. It's rough. Even when the season is going on,
yeah.
and you getting you have like 10 matches, and the things don't don't work
Oh,
out. You see those attitudes, and you see those faces, like whatever, like
yeah, and
yo, my man, we
oh,
gotta make it, bro. We have to do something now. We have to,
100%.
but yeah.
And the sad truth is, those bad apples can affect the culture of the team. You
Yeah,
know, and
yeah, and the coaches as well. I mean,
yeah,
for me, the coaches. I mean, not the ones that I have, but sometimes the coaches need to like figure that out before things happen. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Before everybody get in a fight, or all things that
Well,
that affect.
it starts from the head, you know what I mean? And if the coaches aren't really like instilling the culture within the team, it's gonna be chaos anyway, you know.
It's gonna
So
be yeah, it's gonna be a chaos.
yeah.
But
What a question I do want to ask you. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you feel between junior college and a 4 year school? Going through both of them, what do you think are the biggest?
mm, I would say probably the level.
Yeah,
I mean, if you had a good team in junior college, you can you can be one of the four school,
yeah,
four play teams. I mean, it's not about the if you are playing in the two or the four. It's about the level. So
100%.
sometimes you don't realize that.
I think that's I think that's across the board, like D1, D2, even junior college.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the three different tiers, but there's teams that can play at any level though.
Yeah,
And
100%.
there's D2 players that could be D1 players.
Yeah.
There's junior college teams. I think if you're making it to the nationals at junior level, any of those teams can compete with maybe the bottom half D1 teams. And
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't think people understand that. I think as I said, that stigma that people have on junior
Mm-hmm.
college, people associate junior college as the crash out league. I
Yeah.
don't know. These.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's that's the misconception that many people have. But once you play and you can realize the ball levels and
Yeah,
being the ball levels, you say you were saying like yeah, if the junior college go to nationals, they can be like the no the our conference,
yeah,
for example.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I would say
I think
the Harkun team that we
they
had,
would have competed.
of course,
100%.
of course, of
100%.
course,
Yeah.
yeah. We
I always
we
used to
wouldn't
talk about.
even win the conference.
I always used to talk about that with my peers, and I'm like, yeah, the first school was just different, man. It was weird because at junior college, I don't think they have as much money. I don't know. I don't want to generalize. I don't know if their budget is the same. But one thing I said that I had a hungry team, and the soccer was good. The standard was amongst the team was good. But then when I went to a 4 year school, it was a bit bigger. The
Yeah,
facilities are a bit better and stuff like that. But then you didn't have the hunger of the guys. So it was like
yeah,
it was a bit of a up and down
and it's a
experience.
shame because you have more more tools.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the program has so much potential to do these big things, and if you just got the right players.
Yeah,
And that's another conversation. I'm like butting head. I'm like, coach, you need to switch up the roster. Like, I'm like, coach, come on, like, because even on our conference, right,
yeah,
the teams that were doing well, their players don't speak any English.
yeah.
It's all, for example, Post. Post is just Spanish class.
Just Spanish club. Yeah,
You know what I mean? And they won the conference for like 4 or 5 years in a row.
yeah. We were talking the internationals player.
Yeah,
If you have the quality and the hunger and all these items that you need to uh to put things in the position where you can find like results, it's easier.
100%,
It's easier.
100%. So even tapping with that, like I know you've started up your agency now,
Hmm.
and you had a bad experience with yourself. But what's that process looking like? How are you kind of figuring that out with the kids and stuff like that to make their experience or transition easier? What's the process?
Yeah, just everything has started when I finished my last season. It was December 2024. My my idea is just to give them the tools and to give them you know this opportunity to a second chance,
Yeah, you
as
lived
I
it.
did. Yeah, I
Yeah,
lived it. So is this opportunity to embrace new opportunities, to dream more than there's many lives going on around just football,
yeah,
just around just, oh, I wanna play a pro, I wanna play a pro.
yeah.
you know you know it's
I'm
it's
right there
it's
with
not
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's out of too many people. So I'm just trying to you know build like this agency where players can find this opportunity. I'm gonna serve as a bridge.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like um just saying, oh, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have this, because I didn't have what
Yeah.
these people promised me. So I just want to serve like as a bridge for them, and as a tool for make their life better. If that's
Just giving the information and
yeah,
stuff.
giving the
Hmm.
information, just this league works like this. You need this, you need that, you need not just to play football, but
Yeah.
you need to be consistent in education as well.
Yeah.
As a football player, at some point we don't like education,
Yeah. Facts.
you know
100%.
but in the business, in this game in United States, if you come into college, if you come into to educate yourself, you gotta do you know you gotta do the
The school
the
part of it.
school. You gotta do things that probably you don't like,
Yeah.
but if you want to to be in the in the system and all that, it's the deal. You have to
Yeah.
you have
It
to
works.
go
It
with it.
works hand in glove, and
Yeah.
I think that is a good kind of opportunity coming to
Yeah.
America. I do think I don't think they have the same kind of setup back home. They're kind of working on it. I think they're kind of integrated now. You have to be in school at a certain age, but I think the American system do have a good setup in terms of
Yeah.
having the education accommodate with the football, with whatever sport you do. You kind of have to get a certain grade to be able to play and stuff like that. I think it's a good backup for kids because, like you said, there's so many ways and so many avenues to be successful and
Yeah, exactly. Not just
and
not just football.
beyond the game, 100%. So
Yeah, because at some point you won't play football no more.
yeah, that's,
Look, we
it's
are
a
here.
hard truth. It's a hard truth letting go, but it's you learn so much and in your experience you grow so much and you might realize like I enjoy doing something else. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the football players need lawyers. The football players need
right?
teachers for their kids. The
Yeah,
football players need a social worker.
yeah,
There's a lot of opportunity, not just to be part of the society
yeah.
in a good way, but just to make money.
Hundred
Because
percent.
at the end of the day, we wanna make money, and
Yeah, yeah,
for live, and for educate our family, or our family.
yeah,
So it's this kind of project that um I've been dreaming like a lot, to be honest,
yeah,
because it changed my life.
yeah,
College life and college sport changed my life.
yeah.
So why not
Give
give
that to someone
something
else.
back, for someone else,
Yeah,
or for many people. I don't know.
it's such an interesting experience as well because I've got friends, I've got peers, I've had people even on the podcast and stuff that started their own business outside of the game, but it's always been somewhat involved in the game.
Hmm.
I got friends that do coaching. You're doing an agency, associated with your experience, and this similar thing for me. Now, this is why I'm kind of just starting the podcast of like just spreading information and being an avenue and giving insight to kids that
Yeah,
want the opportunity but don't know how to go about it, that don't have the access and stuff like that.
exactly.
Because when you're going through the process, you just go whatever you hear because you don't know any different, and
Exactly.
everything is so new. It sounds so good, but there is a harsh reality. There is a lot of trials and tribulations that come with going through it. So I think it is a beautiful thing that we are trying to pay it forward to the kids, and I think we're no better people to do it than people that have actually gone through the experience themselves.
Yeah,
Because a lot of kids are getting misled through bad information and the wrong information, and you know
and it's a shame,
it
because
is a
they
shame.
they they dreaming. They
Yeah,
wanna they wanna make their life better,
yeah,
and not just their life, but their family too.
all right.
So it's a shame, and this is something that I took from my experience. So
Yeah.
I don't want nobody
So it's like personal though. So it's
as a
like
per
you really want to actually help the kids
yeah,
though. It's not
I
about
feel like
money. It's not about Well,
exactly,
money.
I feel I have like I have something that I have to
Yeah,
I have to do, because there's not just my experience.
yeah,
I know many, like I would say millions, or people have been coming to United States.
yeah.
I'm going through the same thing.
Hundred
So
percent.
I don't want that. At least if I can do something, I will do it.
Just do your part to pay it
Yeah,
forward.
I'll do my part.
I think it is a bigger problem across collegiate sports. I think it is whatever walk or whatever part of the world you're coming from. I noticed that we would all have the same conversations. oh well, what do we do after college? What are the resources? How do I create an opportunity after the game if I want to stay in the country and stuff like that? And I'm having these conversations so many times, and I'm like, how is it? It's so hard to have resource and access to the information. So I just said, you know what, screw it, man. I'm just gonna at least try and create a conversation to at least have about it to for people that are trying to come through the works or people that are already in the country like ourselves. We haven't spoke had a sit down conversation properly, but we both understand and have a similar understanding to the hardships that come with coming overseas. You know, so
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's hard because, you know, sometimes people want to, after college, they say, okay, what I'm gonna do.
what am I doing? I've graduated now. Like what now? Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
but you just finished college, so you didn't have the experience,
Yeah,
to go to the, workforce and all that. So yeah, as you said it all, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but at least we, do, throughout the college career, you meet people
yeah,
that can help you out.
for sure.
I mean, we never had a conversation.
Yeah,
We never go out. We never, hang out.
yeah, yeah.
Some,
Personally,
but you count on me, I count on you.
yeah.
That's it.
We're all in it together at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
So just use that connections, use that friends,
yeah.
use that colleagues. I
100%.
don't know. So you meet people throughout
It's got to make the
the
most of it.
process.
I think even just really looping back to the, what your dad said to you and my mum said something similar. Like you're out in the country, make something. You're here now. You've come so far. You've got the opportunity. You kind of have to kind of figure it out yourself. It grows you a lot. It can be stressful at times too.
Yeah.
But we're here to tell the story. Are you still playing ball? That's a big deep ref, bro. Bro,
Not really, bro.
you're not, bro.
I mean, Sunday leagues,
Yeah, it's just like rec league. I never
but
thought I
it's
would see the day where I sit there and I say to myself, I just can't find the time.
yeah.
Just like balance it in with everything else that's going on. I'm just like, football isn't the priority right now.
That's the bottom line, bro.
It's like,
I mean, you asked me, I said,
he said, I had to take his time. Bro,
no,
I
I
did.
no as I used to,
Yeah,
or as I would love to,
yeah.
you
It-
know, because we saw we football players, bro. We
At heart, yeah.
we've been playing the sport like since, I mean, for me since 4 years old.
Yeah, all you know.
I don't know about you, but
Same here. All you know. For 20 years of your life, bro. Just 20 plus. Just football, football, football.
yeah. So
How has that adjustment been for you? Like stepping away from the game?
it's been hard.
Yeah.
I've been watching more football than I used to when
Yeah.
I play, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's she's always, oh, you always
Oh, wait,
watching football. You watch like 5 games in a row.
yeah. It's the only way to stay connected.
Yeah, that's true. Because where I'm working now is not connected to the sport,
It's
so
completely different.
it's completely different. So
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to be connected to the game.
Yeah.
I just have Premier League,
Yeah.
Champions League, La Liga. That's
yeah.
it.
So you do miss it, like deep down, like you do miss.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's been a different one for me, man. Like I miss the things and the components that come with the game. Like the banter in the locker room, hanging around your
Oh,
guys
yeah.
and stuff like that. I think those are like priceless memories and experience that I really do miss. The hustle and bustle of kicking the ball, I'm
Not
kinda
really.
over it, bro. I'm content whilst I was playing that. I played it. I had a good run with it. Now it's opened my eyes to so much more than the game, and this is where
Yeah, of
more
course.
than just a baller just comes into play because it's like there's more to life, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. But
It's a hard reality, to realize that we're no longer kids and your childhood dream is kind of being shattered and stuff like that. But
but kicking the ball is different.
it
I
is,
mean,
and
from my side, I don't know about you. You say, but so you mean you miss more like things around football,
yeah,
like
like
the dressing room, like
the
the warm
opportunity,
up, or just
the opportunities that the game gave me. And to be fair, my association with the game was always playing it.
hmm
So I always kind of think I never said it aloud, but I think in the back of my head I kind of said once I'm done playing, like I'm good.
okay,
You know what I
okay,
mean? And like watching it, yeah, I tune in and stuff. You know, I support the Gunners, and so I follow like certain teams. But even the coaching, I've done the coaching. It's okay, but I don't have the same love for the coaching. You know how people
Yeah, yeah.
they retire and they're like, oh, I got to stay in the game. I want to coach now and do.
I wouldn't be able to coach either.
I'm good because what I noticed in my experience with the coaching, it's interesting seeing the game on the sidelines as opposed to playing. It's much more tactical and stuff when you know you're observing. But it really used to like bother me and tick me off when I shouldn't have to tell you to run. I shouldn't have to tell you to do these things because no one had to tell me
Yeah.
to do those things. I was just passionate. I wasn't doing the bare minimums of just team practice. You know, me and my guys we're doing the extra stuff to try and just maximize our potential.
Yeah.
So now I finished, I'm like, I feel like I did my part. You know, I feel like I paid it forward to the game and stuff, and you know, the coaching was just like,
I
kids,
mean,
they just turn up to practice and like that mentality thing we was talking about earlier. It's just
yeah.
like, oh, I'm here for
I
being
mean,
here.
for me to be coach, you have to be the passion for that. I
Yeah,
mean, you have to be you have to have this thing inside you that just motivates you to motivate others
yeah,
to run, to kick the ball,
mm,
to all that. But since we play the game
yeah.
and nobody told like, oh, you have to run. No, we run because we knew
Yeah,
we had to.
100%.
So I'm agree with you. I don't see myself coaching. I don't see myself coaching, but
I tried it. I dabbled my friend, and I was just like, I'd rather just explore the other areas of my life than just be all in on soccer, man.
yeah, I'd rather be an agent.
Okay, yeah, right. So
You know,
it's still keeping you somewhat involved in the game and helping the
exactly.
kids, but you don't have to be
Yeah, and coaching,
yeah. It's different
in
kind of
some
coaching.
way, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
different kind of coaching. So yeah, so I agree with you. I won't be a coach.
I hear
No,
you, bro.
no.
I hear you.
At least they offer me like good
It
money,
has to be
but
a good kind
yeah,
of gig, yeah.
yeah,
And even coaching in America, man, it's a lot of hustle and bustle, man. Like you got coaches that play like coaching 3 different teams just to make it work.
yeah. I don't know why they do that.
I don't know. It's just like I think it's common though. It's like
Yeah, it's come
I don't know
in
if
the United States.
I don't. Yeah, right. It's not like I don't know. If it's a lot of part-time jobs.
Yeah, I think because they in the morning they coach one team
Yeah.
like U10 team, then they go in the afternoon,
Right.
in the noon they
Because
coach.
I didn't even know. I don't know if you knew, but even in our conference at the CACC, maybe like 1 or 2 coaches in the whole
Full time.
conference that are full time.
Yeah,
Everyone else is part time and has the work club. So it's
and
just
it is hard for them.
yeah, it's a hustle, man. It's like different.
Yeah,
Even
there's a real hustle.
even Dave would like sometimes straight after the game he'd be out going to his club teams. But
Yeah. I remember I used to coach for David or with David in one of the clubs that he used to
yeah,
coach when in 2019 I remember.
yeah,
That was one of the first jobs that he
yeah.
had. Yeah.
It's good.
I went to this club with one of my teammates that I had at the moment, and it was hard because I didn't speak any English. I didn't know
Yeah.
how I coached them, but yeah, it was kind of funny though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting, man. Yeah, I think even just tapping into that, just the thought just came to my head. Like, you came in and you didn't speak any English, but that's one thing I did love. Like, football is an international language, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
And as soon as you might not speak a word of English, but as soon as we're on the field, if you're coming from a certain standard and have a certain kind of experience in football,
Yeah.
it's the unspoken thing. You don't even need to say a word, and if you can see the field, you can play together. So
And if you know the rules,
right,
yeah, it's different.
exactly.
Yeah, just give me the ball. I'll do my
I'll do
thing.
my-
I'll give you the ball. You do the
I gotta
thing.
score the goals. I'm the
Exactly.
yeah. It's kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
unspoken.
But yeah, that's as you say, football is an international language, and it's a beautiful language,
It is,
bro.
man. It is. And I'll always be grateful for the game, man. It's done a lot
For
me.
you, it was easy because you're from England, so
Yeah,
you can at least argue with your teammates.
true.
So,
That's true.
so
That is true.
I had to just say my things in Spanish.
Yeah.
Just my
That's-
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, but they don't understand what I say. Thank God.
100%.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
that's kind of like the transition of moving overseas now. What does life look like for you beyond the game now. Now that you're exploring that and making that adjustment and hanging up the boots. How's life, man?
Uh,
Like, how
life. I mean, life is good. Like, I mean, can't complain to
yeah,
be honest. Yeah. Um, God, it's been great for me, bro.
yeah,
It's been a good time. I mean, I just finished last year, and this last year it's been great. I got my job. Now
yeah.
I'm working on the field that I went to school to
Mm.
for and yeah, it's been great. I got married, you know.
I was gonna mention it, but you are newlyweds as well, man. So congratulations on that, man. And
Thanks, man.
it's the second married couple I've had on, and your wife is in the back. And it's just a crazy like full circle moment because I went to school with like
Yeah,
obviously we didn't play together, but
yeah,
we shared school together as well. So like once
yeah.
again,
She mentioned too many good things about you, bro.
yeah, I appreciate it,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, we
yeah,
used to like just move like there's a little clique of us, a clump of us and stuff. So
yeah,
when I heard that the information, I was like, that's amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Congrats. Like, that's awesome for both of you, man.
yeah. Thanks. So yeah, it's been great so far, so
You
good.
enjoy married life, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Married life.
enjoying. I miss football. I miss football though,
But it's a
but
new chapter of your life.
yeah,
That you're
it's a
exploring
new chapter. Yeah, I mean,
is different, but it's a good different, yeah?
yeah, it's a good different. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a new page of the book. You know,
100%.
I'm just writing new pages of
Yeah,
my life. But it's been great. It's been great, bro.
yeah. Good, man. So what's the cliche question, what's like the 5 year goal? Now you kind of like got a few things in place, like you finding a job, you found a kind of finding your feet outside of the game.
Hmm.
What's the kind of like 5 year plan look like for you in terms of
Uh, I don't know, man. Maybe
just taking it a day at a time?
yeah, just taking it day at
Yeah,
a time. But
that's what you have to do, man.
yeah, but sometimes you had to plan something
Yeah, of course, yeah.
because we're not going with the flow without
Yeah, I agree. I
without
agree.
sense. But I'll say I don't know, man. Probably working on my agency.
Yeah,
Have a bigger agency that I have right now, helping more people that I trying to help right now.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Probably living on a warmer weather.
100%. Yeah, I don't
Probably,
blame you, bro.
yeah, probably, yeah, because it's been 5 years of the cold that
Oh, mate, terrible,
it's getting sick.
bro.
I'm getting sick of it. Yeah,
This week the weather's been so good, and I'm like, life just feels so much easier, bro. I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
I was telling my wife when it's getting warmer, like people is you can see people happier.
yeah,
It's
100%. Everyone's outside, like,
yeah,
yeah, it's good vibes, good vibes.
everybody in the park playing basketball.
Yeah, facts.
The kids running the park, but yeah, man, I would say in 5 years,
If
um, I want my baby, so probably
are you gonna have kids, man?
yeah,
Yeah,
one
okay,
kids, yeah,
okay.
of course, yeah,
Yeah, that's dope, man.
want a big family, four
Yeah,
of them.
four. Yeah, I think that's enough, man. Yeah, okay. I'll roll
Just
about
kidding,
three
yeah,
or four. Yeah,
but yeah.
but I had a question. I just so you were saying that, and I had a question. I just lost my question. It's the 5 year plan.
How about you, bro? 5 years, where do you see yourself?
5 years for me. Um, yeah, I'm just exploring that option as well, kind of like setting my roots as well here. Um, the mentality I think to myself is home's not going anywhere. You know,
Okay,
my family is all there. I have this opportunity at my fingertips now. I just want to make the most of it.
yeah, yeah,
And I
that
think
makes sense.
there's a lot of opportunity here. If you have a work ethic and a bit of a brain, I think there's a lot of opportunities to make money in different avenues here
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think I had the exposure to back home. So I'm kind of just like I'm going through that process of making an active decision. Yeah, I want to stay here, set up some roots, and hopefully grow this. God willing, see where it goes and stuff like that. Just trying to just build and stuff,
Yeah, of course, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and stuff like that. So I think that's where I'm at. Like you said, I think you do have to plan, but sometimes it could be overwhelming, man. Sometimes it could be a lot. Like there's so many things, and like it's so bigger than you because there's all these
yeah,
stipulations and stuff like that that you had to go through. But I think like we was messing around. I was joking. I haven't been home in 3 years now,
yeah,
so it's kind of just making the adjustment to that sacrifice and just setting up my pillars here. You know.
yeah. So do you think do you think in the future you can say, or you can regret about everything, about on anything, or just
Do I have regrets? Um, no, not really. I mean, I think everything happens for a reason in grand perspective. But I think I accomplished what I came to do.
yeah,
You know, and I graduated, and it was a wholesome experience because there's obviously so many days and weeks where it's kind of like rough and you're struggling sometimes. But
yeah,
when it was a full circle moment of me actually graduating and finishing what I started, I was like, you know what, it's been a great experience so far. I want to continue doing this. You know, I want to
yeah,
continue exploring different avenues and what does it look like beyond the game is definitely a conversation I became open to. 'Cause
yeah.
I didn't always have it in my head. I don't know about you. I didn't always have it in my head to stay. I don't know. Was that something that you would always kind of like? As soon as you were here, you're like, I don't want to go back home. I'm good. Like I like it.
Mm, to be honest, the first 2 years, I was thinking to make it pro.
Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was, that's the mindset at
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
beginning.
100%.
You say, "Oh, I want to take it because that might be the road to make it pro."
Yeah,
So yeah, when it came to United States, say, "Oh, I'm going to make it pro. I'm gonna stay in United States."
yeah,
But then things happen.
mm-hmm.
Everything goes. Everything is different.
Mm.
That that the way you plan, but yeah, now I'm in United States, so
Yeah. So you said about going to a warmer place. If obviously I know you're finding your feet and stuff. You're in New Jersey now. Where's the ideal location you want to go to? If you had a vision in your head of like a state you would go to, or are you happy staying in New Jersey?
I don't know. I have to.
He
I
looked
had
over the
to.
wife. He looked over the wife.
Probably, for sure, a warmer place.
Yeah, 100%.
Florida will be one of them.
Yeah.
Probably Puerto Rico. I love Puerto
Mm.
Rico. I don't know if you've been in Puerto
I have
Rico.
never been. No.
It's amazing,
You
bro.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably those one of those places.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I don't know. The decision is
It's not
not
just
just
you
mine
anymore. Yeah, of
right now.
course you have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, yeah. That's
If
all.
we have kids, it's different story. It's
True.
different history. so
Yeah.
so yeah, man. That's the deal right
Yeah.
now. That's
That's a
the
good
deal
place to
right
be.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I want to ask you a couple questions, right? Um, I did actually put out a kind of question and answer on the page and stuff like that, and just some challenges that people wanted to ask in the group that we've obviously experienced. So I think you'd be a good person to ask. One of the questions was, what did you do to avoid being homesick?
uh I tryna I tryna be connected in the way that I can feel myself growing up.
Mm,
Probably listen to this music that
yeah.
I listened to when I was growing up. Uh, I'm trying to call my parents out every day.
Any opportunity you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's my that my connection,
Yeah.
because they keep me updated of everything is
Yeah.
happening on the
Yeah.
neighborhood. They keep me updated of what's happening,
All the gossip and
everything in the family and my
yeah, yeah,
cousins and
yeah.
this. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the tools that I use to be connected. I'm not to be homesick. You know,
Yeah.
I'm homesick every
You make
day.
the best of it. It's always gonna be
Yeah,
difficult, but you
yeah.
just do what you can.
So that's the way I that's my the way I try to not be homesick.
Yeah.
Like try to stay connected through social media. Like follow these pages that just keep me
Yeah.
updated what's going on my city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and all this. So that's what I
Yeah.
used to not
Yeah.
be homesick
I think that's a good answer. I think.
and be connected with the family, which is
Yeah.
fundamental to me.
I didn't. I think throughout my experience, as I kind of like, you know, the longer I've been out here, I think pouring in and having those conversations and regular conversation with your family, you underestimate how much it pours into you. Does that make sense?
No, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
I'll rephrase it. So like, you have a long week, or you have a bad game or something like that,
Yeah.
and then you call your family back home, and it just kind of like it's like calms you down. It's like
Yeah.
peaceful. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I definitely learned the value of just talking to your people. I'm always talking to my best friend any chance I get and stuff like that. Cause sometimes it does get lonely. Sometimes does get difficult.
Yeah.
But just talking to the people that know you, and know where you're coming from, and they're always giving encouraging words and stuff like that. Is
Yeah, I forgot to mention my friends, but yeah, I mean, just keeping in touch with them just make me feel we're not close like physically, but
yeah,
we can just have a call and just
you just
they're gonna
laugh and just
yeah,
like
they're gonna tell me what happened on their day.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell them what happened in my day,
yeah.
what's going on in my life. My friends are my wife friends, so
Yeah,
I
of
mean
course.
not friends like, but they know her, so
Yeah,
they
friends
j-
of a friend. Yeah,
they ask me about her, how's her life in
yeah,
here.
that's awesome.
They tell me that one day they're gonna come to visit and
Yeah.
all that.
Have you had any friends come out?
Not yet, not
I
yet.
got I got my friend coming out in hopefully, if all goes well in May,
Oh, this May.
and I haven't seen him in 3 years. That's like my best friend. It's
That'll
crazy.
be awesome, bro.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna try and
What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Well, he's here for a couple of weeks, so to give in, I'm gonna take him to because this is also his first time in America as well.
Oh,
He's
okay.
never been, so obviously as a given, I'm gonna take him down to New York. I want to do a few things and take him to a few places in Philly. Hopefully, we might take him to Miami or somewhere like
Yeah.
that. So just try and within reason. Nothing's free, so you know what I mean. But we're just gonna try and make that work. So
To catch up.
yeah, but I think even if we were just like in the room, like it would just be
Yeah.
a, unbelievable experience
But
just to have
what
him out.
what what you guys used to do back home? Like,
What did we do? Um, he was big at sports.
okay, he played with you or no?
No, he did track and field.
Oh, okay.
He does other things now. He does like music and stuff like that, which he's thriving in and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just the little things. I think like when you have good company, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah,
It's just like
that's true.
you're just laughing, just having fun. We just do anything. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy to think how long it's been since I've seen those people. Thankfully, I've had my family come out like the last.
They come often?
Yeah, they came like last year and stuff. And
Oh,
my
okay.
mum and my sister and stuff. Because I haven't been home in so long, so they come over here.
Yeah, they come.
It's just nice. It's nice.
But it's great you have the opportunity to bring him.
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Yeah, fingers crossed. Gonna make it. So another question I had is, and I think your spot is right down your street. What are some good questions that people should be asking agents, or what information should they be seeking and researching themselves?
Um, One of them is how much the school is going to offer.
Yeah.
I put it over the
Like,
table.
like
We know
I want to
lies.
see on paper. Like
Yeah,
I need to see
I need.
numbers. Like
Yeah.
you know,
I
'cause-
need. Yeah, because I trust the person without
yeah.
seeing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, how much the school can offer the player
Mm-hmm.
and the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
What are the challenges that a new player going to United States
Yeah.
to play college football,
Yeah.
college
Yeah.
football. Um, ask for any advice,
Yeah.
any doubt that they have. I can guide them and take him throughout the process. But if you have any questions, if you have any doubt,
Mm-hmm.
you or your family, because at the end of the day, is your family the one that is going to pay the
Help and
money.
yeah, contribute. Yeah.
So yeah, um, that kind of stuff. Like I would have asked
Yeah.
if I knew how the system was.
So I think you made a good point, and those are good questions to ask. I think learning from my experience now, it seems far fetched, and I know a lot of people don't want to do it, and it seems like a chore. But like you need to do these things because at the end of the day, it's your livelihood, and
Yeah,
you can't just expect, you can't be mad at someone for not giving you the information, but you didn't seek it yourself.
yeah,
So one thing I would do, and even when I transfer school and stuff like that, is speak to someone that's out here already. So like if you're considering coming out and stuff like that, try and reach out to someone on the team
exactly.
and be like, "Oh, I see you're from here. Like I'm also international. I'm coming out. What's your experience been like?"
Yeah,
And chances are, if they're already in the country, they've lived it. they'd be more than happy to help you. You know,
Yeah,
give
of
you some
course.
advice, give you some tips, or you want to do this, you want to, before you come out, you want to have this, and this, or might even be able
Yeah,
to help you.
this one are the pros, this one are the
Yeah,
cons,
yeah, yeah,
and from there you take the decision.
yeah. Because guilty as charged, and I think we all fall into that kind of that bubble of, all right, whatever the agent tells you, you just go with it. Okay, he must be telling me this, and he helps all these kids, so he must know what he's talking about. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's a business,
Yeah, that's what I'm you know, trying to be
and you want to
a
be transparent.
bridge.
Yeah,
I want to be just the bridge. I
yeah,
mean, if I do the contact with the coach and the player, I put them together. I'm gonna be just the
yeah, yeah,
just the bridge. I'm gonna advise the player. Oh, do this, do this, do that.
yeah,
I'm gonna talk with the with the coach. Oh, this guy, it's this good. They can offer this. Their
yeah,
family had this money and all that. But at the end of the day, their relationship
yeah,
will be coach and player. I'm gonna be out of the
yeah,
map.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And then
at
you
the end
kind of,
of the day, when they knew each other, when they start communicate each other,
yeah,
they go from there.
for sure.
I
You're
won't
out
I
of the
won't
picture.
play
You've
for
done
them.
your part. Yeah,
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 I did my part. I
mm-hmm.
wanna try to do the best. The best as I can. But
Even with that, right? I think it's important to, if you're considering doing the opportunity, you've kind of said to yourself, all right, I want to go to the States. I want to embark in this opportunity. Look around, like to different agencies sometimes.
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
do your research. Maybe you can speak to 2 or 3 different people, see what they're offering, see what packages they have, what assistance they're giving you. Because if you're going on one,
Yeah.
you're hoping that that's the right fit for you, and but there
Hmm.
could be other stuff out there as well.
Yeah, yeah, and coaches they talk with so many agencies.
Right?
So probably if you go to one that is, it's not convincing you, you can go to other one.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean it's part of the it's part of the game as well that you can do the research too.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, you and your family,
Yeah.
because it's a life decision. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not.
It's not, yeah, it's not picking your favorite candy at the candy store. It's
Exactly.
like a
Yeah.
serious,
It's
yeah,
a serious
and
decision.
it comes with money too. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like it's a
And
big investment up front.
yeah, we're not talking $20, $30. We're talking
A few
grants.
grands, yeah. And I mean, even if you was come out on full scholarship, there's
Hmm.
all these underwritten costs that you have to also expense for as well. The visa process, your flights and stuff like that. So
Yeah. If you live overseas,
mm,
when the money is not it's not that
the
good.
currency is not
The
good and stuff.
currency is
It's even
not.
more.
It's
Yeah,
even more.
it's
So
terrible.
that's those things you have to take in account to make the decision, and to be sure with the agency that you're going.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what I'm trying to do with my
yeah.
project.
I think if and I just similar to you, I've only heard good things about you, and even having this conversation, I can see, like, you're passionate, you're invested in it as well. I just think if you do it for the right reasons, the money will come naturally. The
I mean, last year, 2 weeks ago, I had one guy that he needed to transfer. I helped him out without
but charging,
charging anything.
just paying it forward.
I'm just doing it for you know
Yeah,
when you start your business, you have to do
yeah, of
things
course.
like that. But besides that, I did it because
You want to
it
help.
was a good guy. Help
Yeah,
him out.
yeah,
Trying to be part of the process. I didn't find the scholarship, but I helped him out throughout the process, going to junior college to an IA university.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So it's and I know the rules in junior college because I played. I don't know the NIA ones, but I
Mm,
can help him. Trying to how to contact the coach, how
yeah,
to
yeah,
transfer credits.
yeah.
How many credits that he can transfer. You know, just giving that information to him
100%,
because I went through it. So.
100%.
Hmm.
And I think even with that being said, like there's a lot of information that you can obviously access and give. But I think when you're out here, also your network goes a long way as well.
Exactly.
And I've noticed that as well. Sometimes it's not always about talent; it's about the information that you know
Hmm.
and the people that you know. There's been so many times or so many situations, right, where I'm just like, the coach trusts in you as a player. They know what you bring to the table. Oh, I know this guy. he'll be able to slot in and play right away. He's talented, you know what I mean. So just your word of mouth sometimes can hold weight. So I
Yeah.
think that's why I just say to just talk and communicate, try and branch out your network. Because it is difficult when you don't know anything, you don't know anyone and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there is opportunity out here to be utilized.
Yeah. I mean, when you come and you trying to, you know, do a stuff that, you know, can be like rude or stuff like that. I
Yeah,
mean, it won't help you out.
yeah,
You have to be, first of all, human being.
yeah,
You have to be, I mean, I wouldn't say nice, because everybody can pretend to be nice, but
yeah,
just be yourself, like you say. Just be yourself. Be, um, this kind of person that you can make those connections,
yeah,
because afterwards you will you will need it.
yeah,
You
100%.
know, just try to build that connections and those relationships that after you not play no more, you can use them. So it's what you say. It's yeah, it's part of, if you don't play the game. I mean, if you play the game, you're the best in the field. You're
Hmm.
the best, on the school. But if you don't a human being,
Yeah,
if you
it's
don't
only gonna get you
respect
so
what,
far. Only gonna, and I think that's in any walk of life. Not even just like football. I just think in general, like
yeah,
yeah,
in
just
general, you
yeah,
have to be respectful.
yeah,
You have to respect others as you would love to be respected
yeah,
too.
100%. Treat others how you want to
So
be treated. 100%.
that's why we're here sitting, bro.
Yeah, yeah, and that leads me to well, this isn't a conversation I had, but this is the conversation I personally wanted to ask you. What was kind of your biggest misconceptions or misconceptions, like a myth, or like that you experienced when coming here? You came here and you heard all these things, but like it wasn't really as true when you got here.
Um, Probably the level of the
Yeah, that's a great
of the
answer.
football.
Yeah,
I mean, you hear stuff,
yeah,
from
of
your
course.
country. Oh, United States, they don't play with football. They don't play.
Yeah,
But when you come here and you find a Brazilian player that could be playing professionally in
100%.
Brazil, you find like this England guy that it's a killer.
Yeah,
This center back that is from Uruguay, or um, all of those people come to United States because they couldn't make it.
yeah,
But the level, I mean, for the from the beginning, when I went to the first practice, and I saw these international players, I said, this is not this is not easy.
yeah,
I mean, you gotta put work on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. With the international boys, it's serious. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
A lot of talented kids.
um, one other thing is the preparation.
Mm.
I didn't think it was that hard. Like, go to the gym.
Okay, yeah. Also,
Uh,
it was like,
I thought it was just play, practice,
oh, so it was
games.
more intense.
More intense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
I think it was more intense that I thought
Yeah, yeah.
before.
Well, I'm saying I think that comes to the culture of just breeding athletes. I think most of them. I don't want to say most. That's a very general statement, but like, it is a big focus in the gym. You
Yeah.
know. And I remember when I went to JUCO, you had Jana.
No,
You didn't have Jana.
she left when I get here.
That's
I
crazy.
heard many histories
Oh
about
gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. So many days. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I can imagine like any sport team at that school were just there were so many
She was
days.
a trainer, right? Or
Yeah, she was the athletic trainer,
the
and
athletic trainer.
she had us going through it, bro. It
Crazy
was
things.
terrible, bro. It was like things that like just seemed impossible, bro. Like we had to do these different exercises. It was like 5 minute planks,
Oh my god.
and it was bro, it was like, bro, it was like a 5 minute split. All of them, they were like 5 minutes, like a split squat, plank, wall
But
sit.
that's too many times, bro.
And I'm like, bro, it was just like I did it. I was doing it for a year, bro. I never once did the 5 minutes, bro. Like,
Couldn't make.
bro, it
Couldn't
was
make
just
it.
terrible. Like, but she used to just push you so hard, I mean,
So many times, bro. 5 minutes plank.
bro, I'm doing 2.5, bro, and I'm shaking for dear life. And she's like,
Nah.
bro, it was so like it was horrible. And like we used to do sleds.
But do you think the preparation was that hard before you came to the United States?
I think it did take me to another level in terms of like physically and stuff. And I mean, I always kind of played a physical game,
Okay.
especially like coming back home. It is like kind of less like you know
Yeah.
physical and fast in that sense. But the focus was more on the field though, whereas like I think it was a bit of a transition.
Yeah.
It was more in the
Mhm.
gym stuff and getting not big, but like being able to compete in that sense.
Yeah.
I think it has its pros and cons because there used to be a lot of times when I'm in the gym and I'm like, but we've got a game the next day.
Yeah.
Why am I like? Why are you torturing me when
Lifting
and it's kind of like yeah,
pounds.
it was kind of backwards in my head. Was like we should be taking it easy. We should be doing like little light tactical stuff on the
Mhm.
field. And I'm in the gym, and I think there used to be a miscommunication in terms of the coaching and what the athletic trainer wants.
Strength training.
You
Mhm.
know, and they used to
Yeah,
collide
because
in
the coach
schedule.
wants something, but the athletics
And they're not talking,
train-
and we're just like, we just had a game yesterday. Why would you want me doing 3 miles like today? Like, bro, that's a true story, bro. I used to like maybe like play on a Sunday, and the coach is like, I don't care if you play 90 minutes, you're on the line doing 3 miles the next day, and I'm like,
when was
no
it?
recovery
Harcum?
day or nothing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is terrible.
When was it Harcum or
This is that Holy Family.
Holy
Oh,
Family?
bro,
Oh my
mad
god.
guy, bro. I'm telling you, like,
Thank God. Just
bro,
kidding. Just
bro,
kidding.
the craziest condition, bro. Like, me, bro, I used to be like, are we training for the track team? Like, what are
Yeah,
we doing?
like we're gonna do Olympics or something.
Oh, I was so, bro.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, that was one of the misconceptions
Yeah,
that I realized
yeah.
when it get to United States.
I think overseas is more like like, well,
I mean, it's combined. I would say it's
yeah, yeah,
combined.
yeah,
You use like you lift him, but you run, immediately, and you play. I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
do something with the ball. So it's a mix. It's everything. At least this is the way I used to do it.
For sure. And back home, I think it was, in a nutshell, I would say back home is more like integrated together.
Integrate.
Where
Yeah,
it's like
that's the word
it's
that I
more of a
was looking
balance.
for. Yeah.
Whereas here it's like gym, gym, gym,
It's like a different two different sports.
all different departments. And they're like not talking, and you're just like
Yeah.
going all these. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember one time I would do it in Chestnut Hill. It was like a game the day
Yeah,
after, and the trainer say, "Oh, we're gonna do squats, like 50 pounds, more than that. I'm just putting a number,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't remember right now. But yeah, it was crazy, and my legs were sore. Like,
yeah. It definitely pushed me to a different level.
to be honest, I just pretend. I just pretend, because I
Yeah,
had
but I just think like, for example, like you're a bit like you in comparison to me, you might be a bit smaller, right? We're a different position.
yeah.
You're more attacking. I'm more like defensive and stuff. So it's like I think they should be more accommodating
Hmm.
to your position and stuff. Like
Exactly.
I shouldn't be doing the same workout that you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think here is like a one hat fits all of like
Hmm.
you just need to be an athlete, and it's just kind of like
And the muscles
it just
needs to be big, and
yeah, and it's like
it's
that's not
crazy.
even your game. You know, you're just gonna be on the ball. You know, you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Why do you're not gonna if you're good enough, you don't need to be. But
I mean, you need to be strong,
yeah,
because you need. I mean,
core and legs
for
and stuff.
me, I mean, I have to have my legs like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
strong, because the kicks and all
But
that. But
here they probably have you doing bench press. They want you to do.
I don't need to do like
Bro.
100 pounds on bench.
Yeah.
I mean, my chest is not even it's not even big to do
Yeah. I
that
agree.
that 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 way of weight. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you have to be like, okay, specify, like, okay, you defend,
Yeah.
so you do this, you do that. But
Yeah.
the time and the season is too, I would say, is too tight
That's
to
another
that
thing actually.
specific
That's
train.
another thing. Yeah. That's another. How did you find that? Because back home, it's the season is what probably like August to like May. So like all your
Like
games,
9 months.
yeah, something like that. I want to say those days, August to May. So like you maybe play like once a week, and you kind of like tailor like your schedule, so you have more time to kind of like space it
Yeah.
out because the season is so dragged out.
Hmm.
Whereas here it's like 3 months back to back. You're playing like twice a week. You know, how was that adjustment for you in terms of the intensity of how much you are playing.
I like it, but I would say I don't like it without studying
Yeah, yeah.
because
It's a lot.
that's
It's demanding.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot. But I mean, playing two games in a week. I mean, if you train the right way,
yeah.
if you
Yeah,
train,
it's doable.
yeah, I mean, the game should be the highest
Mm,
level of the training. So,
yeah,
but I mean, I like, to be honest, I like it.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting because you go into school, you have
Yeah,
to wake up early because you have to go to the
of course.
classroom, you know. But other than that, I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, to be
I
honest.
enjoy it in terms when we're in season, so like the main season of like
Hmm.
August to December, it's really good. It's intense. Everything's kind of football focused. I think it kind of sucks in the off season sometimes where it's like
That's the part that I understand.
yeah,
Why?
so you go home and then you'd come back and then it's like now you got to focus on being a student and they probably you have more classes than you did because you have more time and stuff and
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I don't know sorry Sky. I don't know what your experience is. I don't think every school takes the off season that seriously.
mm, not really.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
you
off season is kind of just maintain
yeah, yeah, maintenance
the
exactly.
maintenance,
And
like.
I think the coach is like focused at that point of recruiting and doing so many other things for the upcoming season,
Hmm.
where it's like you play a couple of scrimmages, but that's it.
I mean, I think it should be like a little part of the season in the spring,
Yeah,
like to be not just to be like the whole year waiting for September,
yeah, it's
because
terrible.
just to play like seriously. I mean, they have like a, I don't know, 4 weeks or something like that in the conference where players can compete, like
Yeah,
really compete, not just
but
maintain.
I think there's rules to it though. I think in the off season you're only allowed to play maybe like 5 competitive games or something like that, like 5 scrimmages,
Yeah, I mean,
and like you're only
I
allowed
used
to
to play
work.
like four.
You're the four,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The most I played, I think it was four.
So it's like four games in what 3 4 months. It's kind of
Mm.
like
Yeah, I mean, but
yeah,
it's at least it's something to the
yeah,
player just to keep that mindset of competing, of
yeah.
be ready, be
Staying in
ready.
shape.
Yeah, stay in shape.
But then I think it comes and you see the difference between those that are doing the stuff in the gym and those that are taking care of themselves. A lot of players just kind of just think, oh, I'm not playing. We're not playing anymore, so
Yeah,
I could just do what I want, eat what I want.
yeah.
You do see
I
the
mean,
difference.
yeah. I mean, it's hard, but I think they should have at least something on the middle, because I mean, if you don't do the playoff, if you don't make the playoff,
Yeah,
so you finish
season's
when, in
immature.
October, probably
October, yeah, late October probably.
like October of the first week of November. So
Yeah,
then you have to wait until September, when
a
the
whole yeah, it's almost a year, man. It's
almost a
crazy.
whole year without playing.
Yeah, it's so
So
different.
it's kind of hard. That's why I enjoyed those 3 months.
Yeah,
Like,
you everything's to soccer. Yeah, you're
yeah,
focused.
everything,
You're
everything.
zoned in. Yeah,
Yeah, it's everything soccer,
I agree. I
football.
agree. Okay, and the last question I always ask the guests of what is one piece of overall advice that you would give to someone walking in a similar shoes or considering taking up an opportunity that coming to the states? What's the best piece of
Uh,
advice you would give?
I don't know, man. Probably uh follow the dreams.
Mm,
I
yeah, it's
mean, I
good.
think it's important for not just for the players that are thinking to come to United States, but for people, just follow those dreams that are just living free reign on your mind and your heart.
Yeah,
I think that's when you follow your heart, when you follow your dreams, you you will never regret.
yeah,
You will never regret of anything, even if things didn't work out, so, or stuff like that. But that's one advice that I would love to give to to people and to the players that are just doubting on what I'm gonna do with my
yeah,
life
yeah,
if I don't make I don't make as a player.
yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, as we were talking earlier, um, in the society, in the in the world, that they can do.
yeah,
I mean, they can be a lawyer, they can be they can
hundred
be a
percent.
doctor, they can be you know podcaster. Look, anything,
Whatever it is.
anything. Just follow the dreams. Just keep tight with your roots.
Yeah. That's a good one. We haven't had that one yet. I think that's a really good one. Well, I say one every week, so I say one every episode. So you know, I don't want to say I'm running out, but I think even just from our conversation, I would say do your research. Like, do your own research.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
that's just yeah. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
a kind of a nutshell of our whole conversation today. So I would take that away. Do your research, seek information beyond what you're told. Um,
Use different resources.
right, different resources. Try and find a network or a couple people that have come through the works before you, and you know, I've really lived it. You know, I don't think there's anyone better to give you advice than someone that's gone through it.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think yeah, just try and network as much as possible, even if that's just DMing a bunch of different people, man,
Yeah, I
or you
mean,
know, or just researching a bunch of different people that can accommodate for the opportunity and doing research more on the opportunity itself.
hmm
Especially if it's really new to you and stuff like that. I think I encourage guys to. It sounds like a chore and it seems like a lot, but you're not going to regret doing
yeah,
that because you'll have the most. You would have gathered the most information possible to make the best decision.
yeah. The more information, the better. I
Yeah,
would say. I
exactly.
mean, yeah.
So
You go from there.
yeah,
When you
definitely.
have the information and you do the research, you have everything. Then you have the discuss with your family
Yeah,
what to do, because
100%.
it's not just one person decision. It's a family decision. Sometimes it's a family
It is. It is.
decision.
No, 100%.
Sometimes the parents are as well concerned about what my son is gonna do, what he's
Yeah,
gonna do.
I think they think about
You
it
know?
from a lens that you don't, like your safety and like you know making sure that you've got all the not boring stuff, you know,
Hmm.
but all the kind of things in place to be able to sustain yourself, you know. So
Yeah,
it's a big decision, and I think um, that's another thing, you know, have conversations, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah. So I think that's good, and I think that's a good way to wrap it up. I think that's actually been a really good conversation. I'm really
Yeah.
glad to have you on, bro. It's been long
Thanks.
overdue, so you know, um, in consideration we always missed each other. I think it's a great conversation to just have you on, and I think there's been a lot of information, a lot of gems that we've really kind of given. So just trying to pay it forward to the people. So
Yeah, I hope. I mean, everybody that watch this episode take at least one thing
yeah,
from here. Just I hope we help them with the conversation, and
definitely,
we're just trying to be like this, you know, this light that
yeah,
they might have at this moment. So
yeah,
I think it was a good conversation,
yeah,
bro.
bro.
Thanks for having me,
Of course.
and it's been a good time, bro.
No, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks again for having me
Thank
on.
you, bro.
I'm you can like look. That's your camera right there. So you can just look in and like shout out your socials, and if you want to shout out the agency as well. Go ahead, man.
Okay, you guys can follow me on my personal Instagram, Ortiz96 underscore, on my page on Instagram of my agency, Dreamers Agency underscore. So everybody is welcome to the United States. So if you wanna be in the United States and I can serve as a tool, I will do it with all my heart, all my passion.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. And you already know what it is with us, guys. Michael underscore 40. That's FORD 2 E's. And then the page, you already know what it is. MTJB official on Instagram and other platforms as well. So if you're new, come in. Hopefully, you get some information, get some gems. If you're already following the page and stuff like that, just you know, even comment something that you took away, ask questions, and hopefully, you know, we're gonna bring more value in upcoming episodes, get more people like Juan on here and stuff like that. So yeah, show the page some love. All right, and that's a shoot, man.
Thank you, my man.
All right, brother.
See you.
Thank you.